Introduction: Why You Are Disposable and How to Leave on Your Terms. Imagine waking up tomorrow to a locked email account and a generic calendar invite with HR. For most, that scenario triggers an immediate cold sweat, a racing pulse, and a cascade of panic. Would your life crumble in that moment, or would you simply open the next folder in your carefully constructed career portfolio? This question, stark as it may seem, is not designed to instill fear, but to awaken a vital truth. In today's economy, the traditional concept of job security is not just an illusion, it's a dangerous myth. For decades, the narrative was simple: find a good company, work hard, climb the ladder, and they will take care of you. Pensions, steady raises, a gold watch at retirement. These were the unspoken promises of corporate loyalty. But that world is gone. It vanished with the advent of globalized markets, technological disruption, and a relentless focus on shareholder value above all else. Today, you are, by design, disposable. Not because you lack talent or dedication, but because the system is structured to prioritize agility and profitability over employee tenure. Companies merge, departments are optimized, roles are automated, and sometimes the market simply shifts, rendering an entire skill set redundant overnight. When these inevitable changes occur, the loyal employee, often with years invested, is frequently the most vulnerable. Why? Because their entire sense of security, their financial future, and often their very identity are tied to a single external entity. This audiobook, The Job Security Myth: Why You Are Disposable and How to Leave on Your Terms, is your definitive guide to reclaiming that power. This isn't a manifesto for quitting your job tomorrow, but a strategic roadmap for transitioning from a state of dependence to one of unshakable autonomy. We will systematically dismantle the psychological and financial handcuffs that bind you to a single paycheck, replacing them with a robust framework for personal and professional liberation. Over the next 16 chapters, we'll journey through the history of how this myth was created, decode the legal fine print that makes you vulnerable, and unmask the psychological tactics that keep you loyal. More importantly, we'll equip you with the tools to spot the red flags before they impact you, cultivate a powerful me.inc mindset, calculate your personal freedom number, and audit your transferable assets that make you invaluable to the market, not just one company. We'll dive into practical strategies for networking beyond your current cubicle, leveraging side hustles as safety valves, and building a precise 6-month exit roadmap. You'll learn to navigate the legal complexities of intellectual property and non-competes, negotiate your departure with confidence, and script that pivotal resignation conversation to leave on your terms and with your bridges intact. Finally, we'll cover the crucial steps for decompressing in your first week of freedom, and, most importantly, how to build a portfolio career that ensures you never have to rely on a single employer for your survival again.
You've done it. You navigated the exit roadmap, negotiated your departure, and executed a flawless resignation. Now you stand at the precipice of freedom. While exhilarating, this initial period immediately following your last day can also be fraught with psychological challenges. The sudden absence of your old routine, the loss of a defined identity, and the sheer quiet can create a panic vacuum if not managed proactively. The first week of freedom is not just about celebration, it's about conscious decompression and strategic recalibration. The necessity of a structured detox period cannot be overstated. For weeks, months, or even years, your life has revolved around a specific schedule, a set of responsibilities, and the demands of your employer. Abruptly removing that structure can feel disorienting. Instead of immediately diving into your next venture or frantically searching for a new role, schedule a brief, intentional detox period. This could be a few days or even a full week where you deliberately disconnect. Avoid checking work emails, even if you still have access. Resist the urge to network and simply allow yourself to breathe. This period is crucial for mental and emotional processing, allowing your brain to unwind from years of corporate conditioning. Consider what happened to Chris, who, after leaving a demanding tech job, felt a profound sense of emptiness on his first Monday morning. He had planned to immediately start his freelance consulting, but the sudden lack of external structure left him feeling adrift and anxious. He realized he needed a detox. For 3 days, he focused solely on personal well-being, long walks, reading for pleasure, and spending time with family. By the end of it, he felt mentally reset and ready to approach his new endeavors with clarity and renewed energy. One of the most common and persistent habits you'll fight during this detox is the phantom email-checking impulse. Your brain has been conditioned to constantly monitor incoming messages, respond to urgent requests, and stay connected. Even without an active work email, you might find yourself instinctively reaching for your phone or logging in to personal accounts, expecting the familiar deluge. This impulse is a deeply ingrained habit, and breaking it requires conscious effort. Turn off notifications, put your phone away, and replace that impulse with a new positive habit, perhaps reading, meditating, or simply enjoying the quiet. To prevent the panic vacuum from setting in, it's essential to set a new routine for your new life immediately. While the detox period offers flexibility, once it's over, establish a new, intentional rhythm. This doesn't mean replicating your old 9-to-5, but rather creating a structure that supports your new goals. If you're launching a business, define your working hours. If you're job searching, set specific times for applications, networking, and skill development. Include non-work activities, exercise, hobbies, social engagements. A routine provides a sense of purpose and control, preventing you from drifting aimlessly or succumbing to the anxiety of unstructured time. The first week of freedom is a powerful opportunity for self-recalibration. Embrace the quiet, address the psychological shifts, and intentionally build a new routine that supports your autonomous future. This foundational period will set the stage for sustained success in your new, self-directed life. Chapter 3. The Psychology of Loyalty. Beyond the legal frameworks and historical shifts, there's a powerful, often subconscious force that keeps employees tethered to their jobs, even when the rational mind recognizes the inherent disposability: psychology. We're wired for belonging, for purpose, and for security. Corporations, masters of human behavior, have long leveraged these innate needs to foster loyalty, often with manipulative tactics that serve the company's interests more than the employees'. One of the most insidious and pervasive tactics is the "we are a family" corporate mantra. You've heard it in team meetings, seen it in company newsletters, and perhaps even felt it yourself during particularly challenging projects. It's designed to evoke a deep, almost tribal sense of belonging and mutual obligation. When a company frames itself as a family, it subtly encourages employees to adopt family-like behaviors: unwavering loyalty, self-sacrifice for the greater good, and an emotional investment that goes far beyond a transactional exchange of labor for pay. The unspoken expectation is that just as you wouldn't abandon your family, you shouldn't abandon the company, even if better opportunities arise. Consider Maria, a talented graphic designer who had been with her company for 7 years. She consistently worked late, took on extra projects, and often volunteered for company events. Her boss frequently praised her dedication, saying things like, "Maria, you're part of the backbone of this family." When a recruiter contacted her for a position with significantly higher pay and better work-life balance, Maria felt a profound sense of guilt. How could she leave her family during a crucial product launch? The company had invested in her, she felt, and she owed them her continued loyalty. This emotional entanglement, skillfully cultivated by the family narrative, made the logical decision incredibly difficult, paralyzing her with a sense of obligation where none truly existed. Overcoming this guilt of merely looking for other opportunities is a critical step in breaking free from these psychological handcuffs. It requires a conscious effort to reframe your relationship with your employer. You are not a child in a family. You are a professional providing a service under a contractual agreement. Your employer is a client, and like any client relationship, it is subject to review, renegotiation, and ultimately termination by either party.
There is no moral failing in seeking a better client, a better contract, or a better environment for your skills. In fact, a truly healthy professional relationship encourages growth, even if that growth eventually leads elsewhere. The most profound psychological anchor, however, is often the intertwining of your self-worth with your job title. For many, "I am a senior marketing manager at XYZ Corp" becomes synonymous with "I am valuable." Our society often measures success and personal value by career achievement, leading us to derive a significant portion of our identity from our professional roles. When that role is threatened, or even when we contemplate leaving it voluntarily, it can feel like a direct assault on who we are as individuals. The fear isn't just about losing a paycheck, it's about losing a fundamental piece of our self-definition, our social standing, and our sense of purpose. Separating your self-worth from your job title is a journey of self-discovery. It involves recognizing that your inherent value as a human being, your skills, your character, and your potential exist independently of any corporate badge. It means understanding that your contributions are valuable regardless of who you deliver them to, and that a job title is merely a descriptor of a specific role, not a measure of your intrinsic worth. By consciously detaching your identity from your employment, you gain an immense sense of freedom, empowering you to make career decisions based on your best interests rather than on a manufactured sense of obligation or a fragile external validation. This psychological liberation is not a luxury, it is the essential foundation for truly leaving on your own terms. Chapter 4. Spotting the Red Flags. In the unpredictable landscape of modern employment, simply understanding your disposability isn't enough. You need to develop an almost prescient ability to anticipate it. The corporate axe rarely falls without warning. There are often subtle yet discernible red flags that signal impending layoffs, restructuring, or even a quiet push for certain employees to leave. Learning to decode these changes in the corporate environment is a critical skill for any autonomous professional. One of the earliest and most telling indicators often comes through shifts in communication and leadership tone. Has the upbeat, optimistic messaging suddenly turned vague and guarded? Are senior leaders becoming less visible or more evasive when questioned about future plans? Look for a sudden shift from transparent, forward-looking statements to generic corporate speak about optimizing efficiencies or navigating challenging economic headwinds without specific details. When direct questions about job security are met with non-committal answers, or when previously accessible leaders become scarce, it's often a sign that difficult decisions are being made behind closed doors, decisions they're not yet ready to share. Consider the case of David, a project manager. For years, his CEO hosted quarterly Ask Me Anything sessions, fostering open dialogue. Suddenly, these sessions became tightly scripted presentations, followed by a brief, heavily moderated Q&A where tough questions were politely sidestepped. The usual buzz about exciting new initiatives dwindled, replaced by an emphasis on cost-cutting. David noticed the change, a subtle chilling of the communication, and started updating his resume. 2 months later, a company-wide restructuring was announced, impacting his department heavily. His early recognition of the red flags allowed him a head start in exploring new opportunities. Another significant cluster of warning signs can be found in a company's financial and operational behavior. Pay close attention to budget freezes, hiring freezes, and the cancellation or postponement of previously approved projects. When a company abruptly halts non-essential spending, cuts travel budgets, or delays the launch of new initiatives, it's often a precursor to more drastic measures. These are not just cost-saving efforts, they are strategic maneuvers to shore up finances or prepare for a period of contraction. Similarly, an increased emphasis on metrics, productivity tracking, and a sudden focus on underperformers can indicate that management is building a case for future reductions, selectively thinning the ranks. Let's look at Maria, who worked in a mid-sized tech company. She noticed that a long-planned software upgrade project was suddenly put on indefinite hold. Soon after, all team lunches and holiday parties were canceled due to budget constraints. While these might seem minor, taken together, they painted a picture of a company tightening its belt dramatically. When HR began requesting updated organizational charts and asking managers to rank their teams, Maria knew the next step was likely layoffs. These small, seemingly unrelated actions, when viewed through the lens of corporate strategy, often form a clear pattern of preparation for significant changes. Finally, be alert to the insidious phenomenon known as quiet firing. This isn't about direct termination. It's a deliberate, often subtle process designed to make an employee so uncomfortable or disengaged that they choose to leave on their own. This can manifest as being consistently passed over for promotions or exciting projects, being excluded from important meetings, having responsibilities slowly stripped away, or receiving vague, unconstructive feedback that makes it impossible to improve. The goal is to avoid the complications and costs of direct termination, placing the onus of departure on the employee. If you find yourself consistently marginalized despite your efforts, it's not always a reflection of your performance. It might be a strategic move to encourage your exit. Recognizing these red flags isn't about paranoia, it's about strategic awareness. It transforms you from a passive recipient of corporate decisions into an active player who can anticipate and prepare for the inevitable shifts in the employment landscape, ensuring you're never caught truly off guard. Chapter 5. The Me Inc. Mindset Shift. After dissecting the historical context, legal realities, psychological ties, and warning signs of corporate employment, it's time for the most pivotal shift in your journey toward autonomy, embracing the Me Inc. mindset. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a fundamental reorientation of how you view your professional identity, your employer, and your place in the economic landscape. Instead of thinking like a subordinate employee bound to a single entity, you begin to think, operate, and strategize like a business of one, providing a service to various clients. The core of Me Inc. is treating your current employer not as your master, but as your primary client. This seemingly subtle change in perspective profoundly alters your dynamic. As an employee, you might feel obligated, subservient, or limited by your role. As a business owner serving a client, you operate with a different set of assumptions. You provide a valuable service, you negotiate terms, you manage deliverables, and you constantly evaluate whether the client relationship is still serving your strategic objectives. If a client no longer aligns with your goals, or if a better client opportunity arises, you have the autonomy to make a change. This perspective empowers you to view your work as a strategic transaction, not a lifelong commitment. Let's consider Alex, a software engineer. For years, he saw his company as the ultimate authority, dictating his projects and career path. Adopting the Me Inc. mindset, he began to view his employer as a significant client. He meticulously documented the value he provided, the problems he solved, and the quantifiable impact of his work. This shift in internal dialogue empowered him to confidently explore other client opportunities, knowing he was simply expanding his business portfolio, not betraying an employer. A crucial practical component of the Me Inc. mindset is diversifying your income streams, both mentally and practically. Just as a smart business never relies on a single customer, you should never rely on a single paycheck. Mentally, this means constantly scanning the horizon for alternative avenues where your skills could generate income. Practically, it means actively exploring side hustles, freelance opportunities, investments, or even starting a small passion project that has income potential. This diversification creates a financial safety net, reducing the anxiety associated with losing your primary client and giving you immense leverage in career negotiations. Imagine Sarah, a marketing professional, who, after embracing Me Inc., started taking on small freelance social media projects for local businesses in the evenings. Initially, the extra income was a bonus, but more importantly, it allowed her to test her skills in a different market, build a portfolio independent of her full-time job, and gain confidence in her ability to attract and serve clients. When her main employer went through a round of layoffs, Sarah wasn't just another vulnerable employee. She was a small business owner who had already diversified her client base, giving her a significant advantage and peace of mind. Finally, the Me Inc. mindset emphasizes the paramount importance of personal branding independent of your current role. In the past, your company often defined you. Today, you must define yourself. This means actively cultivating your professional reputation, expertise, and unique value proposition across platforms like LinkedIn, professional associations, or even your personal website. Your brand is your resume, your network, and your business card all rolled into one. It communicates your value to the broader market, making you visible and attractive to potential clients even when you're not actively looking. A strong personal brand ensures that if your primary client relationship ends, you don't start from zero. Your network already knows your capabilities, your reputation precedes you, and your value is evident. This shift from thinking like an employee with a job title to a business of one with a distinct brand is not just about career security. It's about reclaiming your professional identity and charting your own course irrespective of the whims of any single corporation. It's about becoming the CEO of your own career. Chapter 6. Calculating your freedom number. The Me Inc. mindset provides the mental framework for autonomy, but true freedom from the job security myth demands a solid financial foundation. This brings us to a crucial, highly personal calculation, your freedom number. This isn't about becoming a millionaire. It's about establishing the financial baseline required to make a safe, strategic exit from any job without immediate panic, empowering you to leave on your terms. Your freedom number is the amount of liquid savings you need to cover your essential living expenses for a predetermined period, acting as your financial runway. The first step in calculating your freedom number is to determine your bare-bones monthly survival budget. This requires a frank and honest assessment of your expenditures, distinguishing between necessities and luxuries. List all your absolute must-haves: housing, rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, essential insurance, and minimum debt payments. Be ruthless in this assessment. This is not your ideal lifestyle budget. It's the absolute minimum you need to maintain a roof over your head, food on your table, and the lights on. This figure represents the monthly cost of basic survival, the true cost of your independence. For example, let's consider Michael. His usual monthly spending is around $4,000, which includes dining out, entertainment, and subscription services. When calculating his bare-bones survival budget, he cut out all non-essentials. His rent is $1,500, utilities $200, groceries $400, transportation $150, and minimum student loan payment $350. His total bare-bones survival budget comes to $2,600 per month. This is the number he needs to cover, come what may. Once you have your bare-bones monthly survival budget, the next step is to determine the length of your runway fund. This is where the mathematics of 3 versus 6 months comes into play. A 3-month runway fund provides a buffer, offering a short period to find a new primary client or scale up a side business without immediate financial distress. However, a 6-month runway fund is often recommended for a truly secure exit, especially if you plan to launch a new venture or if your industry has longer hiring cycles. 6 months provides ample time to pivot, upskill, or even take a brief, well-deserved break to recalibrate. The longer your runway, the greater your negotiating power and the less susceptible you are to making rash decisions out of fear. So, if Michael's bare-bones survival budget is $2,600, a 3-month runway fund would require $7,800 in liquid savings, $2,600 times 3. A 6-month runway fund, offering significantly more peace of mind, would mean saving $15,600, $15,600 times 6. This is your concrete financial target, your freedom number. Having this specific target makes the saving process tangible and motivating. Finally, consider liquidity strategies for immediate cash access. Your freedom number must be stored in highly liquid accounts, meaning you can access the funds quickly without penalties or significant loss of value.
This typically means a high-yield savings account, a money market account, or even a short-term certificate of deposit that aligns with your timeline. Avoid tying up these funds in volatile investments like stocks or real estate, as you can't predict when you might need to tap into them. The goal is safety and accessibility, not aggressive growth. Your freedom number is your ultimate insurance policy against corporate whims, a tangible manifestation of your autonomy. It's the ultimate leverage you'll have in any career decision, knowing that you can always walk away if the terms no longer serve you.
Chapter 7. Auditing your transferable assets.
With your freedom number firmly calculated, the next critical step in achieving true professional autonomy is to conduct a thorough audit of your transferable assets. These aren't just the skills listed on your resume, they are the capabilities, knowledge, and experiences you possess that hold intrinsic value outside the specific ecosystem of your current company. Many employees mistakenly believe their value is solely tied to their current role and its unique processes, leading to a profound sense of vulnerability. Unlocking your transferable assets reveals your true market worth and empowers you to navigate any professional transition with confidence. Begin by distinguishing between hard skills and company-specific processes. Hard skills are quantifiable, teachable abilities, proficiency in software like Salesforce or Adobe Creative Suite, coding languages like Python, data analysis, project management methodologies, or specific financial modeling techniques. These skills are universally recognized and valued across various industries. Company-specific processes, however, are unique to your current employer. Their proprietary internal software, their particular jargon, their unique reporting structures, or their idiosyncratic approval workflows. While important for your current job, these are often non-transferable and lose much of their value the moment you step outside the company. Focus your audit on identifying and highlighting your hard skills. Consider Javier, a marketing coordinator who spent 5 years meticulously managing his company's internal CRM system and ad buying platform. He worried he was too specialized. Upon auditing his skills, he realized that while the specific software was proprietary, the underlying hard skills were universally valuable. Data segmentation, campaign optimization, budget management, and A/B testing. These were the transferable assets, regardless of the platform. He began to articulate his experience in terms of these broader, in-demand skills, not just the specific tools he used. Next, identify high-value soft skills. These are often overlooked but are incredibly crucial in any professional setting. Soft skills encompass abilities like negotiation, conflict resolution, strategic thinking, effective communication, leadership, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. While hard skills get you in the door, soft skills differentiate you and drive long-term success. Think about situations where you've successfully mediated a team dispute, presented complex information clearly to non-technical stakeholders, or managed a challenging client relationship. These are powerful transferable assets that resonate with any potential employer or client. Take the example of Emily, an administrative assistant. Her job primarily involved scheduling and organizing, but upon deeper reflection, she realized she regularly negotiated with vendors for better rates, managed complex logistics for executive travel, and effectively communicated sensitive information across departments. Her transferable soft skills included negotiation, logistical planning, and high-level internal communication. Assets that could easily translate to a project management, operations, or executive support role in any industry. She wasn't just an admin, she was a master organizer and communicator. Finally, the key to this audit is learning to reframe your experience for the open market. This means translating your day-to-day tasks into quantifiable achievements and impactful contributions, using language that is understood and valued by a broader audience. Instead of saying, managed the sales database, say, implemented a new data integrity protocol that improved sales team efficiency by 15% and reduced reporting errors by 20%. Quantify your impact whenever possible and use action verbs that highlight your agency and results.
Your experience, no matter how specialized it may feel, contains a rich vein of transferable assets. By systematically identifying these hard and soft skills and learning to articulate them in market-ready language, you transform yourself from a specialized employee into a versatile professional. This audit isn't just an exercise, it's an awakening to your true inherent value, giving you the confidence to know that your capabilities are in demand well beyond the confines of your current cubicle.
Chapter 8. Networking Beyond the Cubicle. In the traditional corporate model, your professional network often consisted primarily of colleagues, managers, and perhaps a few clients within your current company's orbit. While internal connections can be valuable for career progression within that specific firm, relying solely on them creates a dangerous trap. If your company downsizes or if your role is eliminated, your entire support system can vanish overnight, leaving you isolated and vulnerable. True professional autonomy demands networking beyond the cubicle, building connections that secure your future irrespective of any single employer. The danger of having a network only within your current firm becomes acutely clear when economic shifts or mergers occur. Suddenly, everyone in your network is in the same precarious position, all vying for fewer opportunities or struggling to find new roles in unfamiliar territory. Your internal connections, once a source of strength, can become a shared vulnerability. This isn't to say internal networking is bad, but it must be balanced with a robust external network. Just as a smart investor diversifies their portfolio, an autonomous professional diversifies their network. The strategy here is to dig the well before you're thirsty, particularly on platforms like LinkedIn. Don't wait until you're actively looking for a job to start building meaningful external connections. Proactively identify individuals in your industry, in adjacent fields, or in companies you admire. Connect with them, not with an immediate ask, but with genuine curiosity and a desire to learn. Engage with their posts, share insightful articles, or offer congratulations on their achievements. Think of it as cultivating relationships over time, much like tending a garden, so that when you eventually need water, the well is already full. Let's consider Ben, an IT specialist. For years, his network was almost exclusively within his large tech company. After experiencing a layoff, he struggled to find new leads outside his former employer's ecosystem. Learning from this, he began a new approach. While employed, he committed to spending 15 minutes a day on LinkedIn, connecting with 3 new people in his field, commenting thoughtfully on relevant posts, and sharing his own insights. He wasn't looking for a job, he was building a reputation and a web of relationships. 6 months later, when he decided to explore new opportunities, he had a vibrant external network already established, leading to several promising informational interviews. This brings us to the power of informational interviewing, a strategy for gathering intelligence and building connections without raising suspicion at your current job. An informational interview is a casual conversation, typically 15 to 30 minutes, with someone in a role or company you find interesting. The explicit purpose is not to ask for a job, but to learn. What does a typical day look like in your role? What are the biggest challenges in your industry? What skills do you see becoming most important in the next 5 years? Frame your request as a desire for mentorship or career advice. People are generally flattered to share their expertise. When conducting informational interviews, focus on genuine curiosity. Prepare thoughtful questions that demonstrate you've done your research. Listen more than you speak, and always send a personalized thank you note. These interactions not only provide invaluable insights into other industries and roles, but they also organically expand your network with individuals who can become advocates, mentors, or even future colleagues. Importantly, because you're not asking for a job, these interactions are low pressure and unlikely to signal to your current employer that you're actively job searching. They're investment in your long-term career resilience. Building a diverse and robust external network is an ongoing process and continuous investment in your professional future. It transforms you from someone reliant on a single corporate structure into a connected professional with avenues to explore, insights to gain, and opportunities to pursue, regardless of the fate of your current employer. Your network is your safety net, your radar, and your launchpad, all rolled into one. Chapter 9: The Side Hustle's Safety Valve. In the pursuit of professional autonomy, the side hustle is far more than just a way to earn extra cash. It's a strategic safety valve. It serves as a low-risk testing ground for your exit strategy, a way to validate your skills, build independent income streams, and cultivate the entrepreneurial muscle required to truly leave on your terms. Thinking of a side hustle merely as a second job misses its profound strategic potential. One of the most powerful benefits of a side hustle is its ability to validate your skills in the freelance marketplace. You might be excellent at your current job, but how do you know if your skills are marketable to other clients or companies without the safety net of your current salary? A side hustle provides that real-world proof. By taking on small projects, consulting gigs, or creative endeavors outside your main employment, you gain invaluable feedback on your pricing, your communication, and your ability to attract and satisfy clients. This validation isn't just about the money, it's about building tangible confidence in your market value independent of your current employer's validation. Consider Jessica, a talented content writer for a large tech firm. She loved her job, but worried about her long-term security. She started taking on small freelance blog writing projects for local businesses in the evenings and on weekends. Initially, she earned modest amounts, but more importantly, she learned how to scope projects, set deadlines, market her services, and manage client expectations. Each successful project validated her skills and proved that her writing abilities were in demand outside her corporate role. This confidence was priceless and significantly reduced her anxiety about potentially needing to leave her full-time job. Of course, incorporating a side hustle into an already busy schedule requires effective time management strategies for the 5-to-9 grind. This isn't about sacrificing sleep or burning out. It's about intelligent prioritization and efficiency. Identify pockets of time that are currently underutilized: early mornings before work, lunch breaks, or specific blocks on weekends. Guard this time fiercely. Set clear boundaries between your full-time job and your side hustle. Use productivity techniques like time blocking, the Pomodoro technique, or simply creating a dedicated workspace that signals side hustle time. The goal is sustainable effort, not frantic overwork. For example, Mark, a data analyst, decided to offer his skills as a freelance Excel consultant. He realized he could dedicate 2 hours every Tuesday and Thursday evening and 4 hours on Saturday mornings. He communicated these fixed availability times to his freelance clients, ensuring his side work never bled into his full-time responsibilities or compromised his well-being. This disciplined approach allowed him to build a consistent side income and client base without sacrificing his well-being. Finally, there's the crucial aspect of overcoming the fear of conflict of interest and doing so smartly. Many employees worry that a side hustle will be seen negatively by their employer or violate company policy. First, carefully review your employment contract and company handbook for any clauses related to outside employment, intellectual property, or non-compete agreements. Understanding these boundaries is essential. If there are no explicit prohibitions, your approach should be discreet and professional. Avoid competing directly with your employer, using company resources, or working on company time. Your side hustle should be separate and distinct. In some cases, if your side hustle is in a completely unrelated field, or if it doesn't directly compete, it might not even warrant disclosure. However, if there's any potential overlap, or if it grows significantly, you may eventually need to have a transparent conversation with your employer, framing it as a personal development activity or an independent venture that doesn't conflict with your primary duties. The key is to be strategic, informed, and to prioritize protecting yourself while building your independent future. A side hustle isn't just about creating an alternative income. It's about proactively building your leverage, validating your market value, and giving you the power to walk away on your own terms, not out of necessity.
Chapter 10. The 6-Month Exit Roadmap.
Having cultivated the Me Inc. mindset, calculated your freedom number, audited your transferable assets, and perhaps even initiated a side hustle, you are now ready for the strategic culmination, designing your 6-month exit roadmap. This isn't a spontaneous leap, it's a carefully reverse-engineered timeline for leaving your job responsibly, strategically, and with maximum personal advantage. This structured approach removes much of the anxiety, replacing it with purposeful action. The roadmap begins with months 1 to 2, the research and skill building phase. During this initial period, your focus is on intelligence gathering and self-improvement. Dive deep into market research for your desired next step, whether that's a new industry, a different role, or launching your own venture. Identify the specific skills or certifications that would make you more competitive or more effective in your chosen path. If there are gaps in your transferable assets, this is the time to start addressing them. Enroll in an online course, read industry books, attend virtual workshops, or seek out mentors. Simultaneously, continue to aggressively save towards your freedom number, ensuring you hit your target for your runway fund. This phase is about preparation, ensuring you have the knowledge and capabilities to execute your plan. For instance, Maria, an accountant who dreamed of becoming a financial planner, spent her first 2 months researching industry certifications, identifying the specific exams she needed to pass, and exploring niche markets for her future services. She also diligently tracked her spending to ensure her savings goals were on target, reinforcing her freedom number. This groundwork solidified her confidence and gave her clear objectives for the next phase. Next comes months 3 to 4, the soft launch of your search or business. With your skills sharpened and research complete, this phase is about cautiously putting yourself out there. If you're seeking a new job, discreetly update your LinkedIn profile, activate passive job alerts, and begin sending out feelers within your external network. Focus on informational interviews, not overt job applications, to gather more intelligence and expand your connections without signaling your intentions to your current employer. If you're launching a business, this is the time to develop your minimum viable product or service, begin soft marketing to a small test audience, and secure initial clients or pilot projects. The goal here is to test the waters, get feedback, and gain initial traction, all while maintaining your current employment. Think of Alex, who, after 2 months of skill building, began quietly reaching out to former colleagues and mentors about potential consulting opportunities in his desired field. He presented himself as exploring new challenges, keeping his language vague about leaving his current job. He also started a small personal website showcasing his expertise. This subtle approach allowed him to gauge market interest and even land a few small freelance contracts, building momentum without raising red flags at his full-time job. Finally, we arrive at months 5 to 6, logistics, savings finalization, and documentation. This is the crunch time, where your plan crystallizes into concrete action. By now, your freedom number should be fully funded and safely parked in a liquid account. If you're job searching, intensify your applications, knowing you have the runway to be selective. If you're launching a business, finalize your legal structure, secure necessary licenses, and prepare for a full-scale launch. This phase also involves critical administrative tasks, downloading personal files from company devices, reviewing benefits options like COBRA or marketplace insurance, and securing any written references you might need before you give notice. This is about tying up loose ends and ensuring a smooth transition, leaving no stone unturned. By month 6, if all the pieces are in place, your finances are secure, your skills are market-ready, and you have viable next steps, you are prepared to initiate the final act, the resignation. This 6-month roadmap transforms a daunting leap of faith into a series of manageable, strategic steps, giving you the control and confidence to truly leave on your terms.
Chapter 11. Intellectual Property and Non-Competes. As you meticulously plan your exit, one of the critical yet often overlooked areas to navigate is the legal minefield surrounding intellectual property and non-compete agreements. Leaving a company isn't just about packing your bags, it's about ensuring you don't inadvertently get sued or lose access to work you legitimately created. Ignoring these legal nuances can turn a smooth departure into a costly and emotionally draining legal battle. First, you must understand precisely what you can and cannot take with you when you leave. Most employment contracts contain clauses stating that any intellectual property, ideas, code, designs, client lists, methodologies, data, or even specific solutions to problems developed during your employment using company resources or within the scope of your duties belongs to the company. This means you cannot simply copy files, client lists, or project templates developed during your tenure and use them at your next job or for your own business. Doing so could lead to claims of theft of trade secrets, copyright infringement, or breach of contract. Consider Sarah, a product designer. She had a brilliant idea for a new feature while working for her current company. Even though she developed it in her spare time, because it directly related to the company's product and she used her company laptop for some initial sketches, the IP clause in her contract almost certainly meant the company owned that idea. If she left and tried to develop it independently, she could face legal action. The key is to be scrupulously honest about what you developed independently versus what falls under company ownership. If an idea truly originated outside work, without company resources, and is outside the scope of your employment, document it rigorously with timestamps. Next, you need to navigate non-compete and non-solicitation clauses. A non-compete agreement is a contractual term whereby an employee agrees not to enter into or start a similar profession or trade in competition against the employer. Non-solicitation clauses prevent you from poaching former colleagues or clients for a specified period after leaving. These agreements are common, particularly in specialized industries, and their enforceability varies widely by state and jurisdiction. Some states, like California, largely invalidate them, while others uphold them more readily. If you have signed such an agreement, review it carefully. Understand its geographical scope, duration, and the specific activities it restricts. While non-competes are frequently challenged and sometimes deemed unenforceable if too broad, ignoring them entirely is risky. If your next move might trigger a non-compete, seek legal counsel to understand your options, which might include negotiating a release, modifying the terms, or exploring roles that clearly fall outside the restricted scope. It's better to be proactive than reactive. Finally, prioritize cleaning your personal data off company devices. Before you give notice, ensure all personal photos, documents, contacts, and non-work-related files are backed up to your personal cloud storage or external drives. Once you've announced your departure, IT typically moves swiftly to revoke access and wipe company-issued devices. Do not attempt to wipe company devices yourself or delete any company-owned data. That could be seen as spoliation of evidence. Focus solely on retrieving your personal information. The best practice is to assume anything created on company time, with company resources, or within your job description is company property. Your personal side projects should always be developed on personal devices on your own time and with resources entirely separate from your employer. Being diligent about intellectual property and understanding your contractual obligations ensures that when you walk out the door, you're leaving with a clear conscience and without the specter of legal repercussions hanging over your newfound freedom.
Chapter 12. Negotiating the Departure. Leaving a job isn't just about announcing your departure. It's an opportunity to negotiate terms that can significantly benefit your transition. Far too many employees simply state their intention to leave, pack their box, and walk away, leaving valuable benefits and resources on the table. As the CEO of Me Inc., your departure is a business transaction, and astute negotiation can dramatically improve your financial runway and professional standing. The most substantial area for negotiation is often a severance package, even if you are initiating the resignation. While severance is typically offered during layoffs, it's not exclusively for involuntary terminations. If you are a high-value employee, your departure can create significant disruption, a knowledge gap, or a delay in critical projects. Companies may be willing to offer a severance package in exchange for a smooth transition, a longer notice period, or an agreement not to poach clients or colleagues. Frame your request not as a demand, but as a proposal to ensure business continuity and mutual benefit. Highlight your contributions and the potential impact of your absence. Consider Mark, a senior developer. He had completed his 6-month exit roadmap and was ready to leave. Instead of just quitting, he approached his manager with a proposal. He would extend his notice period from 2 weeks to 6, create comprehensive transition documents, and train his replacement thoroughly. In exchange, he requested a month's severance and a positive reference letter. The company, facing a critical project deadline, agreed. Mark not only secured extra income, but also ensured a graceful exit, maintaining a positive relationship. Beyond severance, explore securing extended health benefits or consulting retainers. Losing health insurance is a major concern for many leaving full-time employment. Negotiate for the company to cover your COBRA premiums for an additional month or two, or ask if they have any internal consulting opportunities you could take on for a short period after your departure. This can provide a crucial bridge until your new health benefits kick in or your business gains full traction. Every small concession in your favor adds to your freedom runway. Another often overlooked asset is getting written references before you walk out the door. Once you're gone, getting busy former managers or colleagues to write detailed reference letters can be challenging. Proactively request these during your departure process, especially from those who know your work best. Suggest specific achievements or projects you'd like them to highlight to make it easier for them. A strong, pre-secured reference can be invaluable for future opportunities, saving you time and stress down the line. Finally, during this negotiation phase, always aim to leave with goodwill. Even if your current role hasn't been ideal, maintaining professional relationships is paramount. Your industry is smaller than you think, and positive references from former employers can open doors, while negative ones can close them. Frame your negotiations as a mutual effort to facilitate a smooth transition rather than an adversarial battle. By approaching your departure strategically and with a clear understanding of your value, you can transform the act of leaving into an opportunity to secure additional financial and professional advantages, setting yourself up for an even stronger start to your autonomous future.
Chapter 13. The Resignation Conversation. The moment of truth, the actual conversation where you inform your boss of your departure, is often the most nerve-wracking part of the exit process. Despite all your meticulous planning, the thought of this discussion can trigger anxiety. However, by scripting your approach and understanding common pitfalls, you can navigate this conversation with grace, professionalism, and firm resolve, maintaining bridges while ensuring you leave on your terms. One highly effective technique for delivering your resignation is the good news sandwich. This method helps to cushion the blow and maintain a positive tone. You start with good news or positive sentiment, such as expressing gratitude for the opportunities you've had. Then you deliver the bad news, your resignation. You conclude with another layer of good news, reiterating your commitment to a smooth transition and offering assistance during your notice period. This structure helps manage the emotional reaction and keeps the conversation constructive. Here's how it might sound. I've truly valued my time here at company name and appreciate all the incredible opportunities I've been given, especially mention a specific positive experience or project. However, I've made the difficult decision to resign from my position as your job title, with my last day being your last day. I want to ensure a seamless handover during my notice period and am fully committed to training my replacement and documenting my processes. This approach acknowledges the positive, delivers the core message clearly, and immediately pivots to problem solving. A major trap to avoid during this conversation is the counteroffer. When a valued employee resigns, it's common for companies to retain them, often with a bump in salary, a new title, or promises of future advancement. While financially appealing on the surface, counteroffers are often short-sighted and rarely solve the underlying reasons you decided to leave. Studies show that employees who accept counteroffers often end up leaving within 6 to 12 months anyway, feeling resentful or realizing the core issues remain. The company may also view you as a flight risk, affecting future opportunities. If you receive a counteroffer, be polite but firm. You can say, "I appreciate the offer, and it certainly gives me a lot to think about. However, I've made this decision after careful consideration of my long-term career goals, and I believe this is the right path for me at this time." Your conviction in your decision, rooted in your 6-month exit roadmap, will be your strongest defense against the allure of a counteroffer. Finally, control the narrative of why you were leaving. Your boss will naturally be curious, and you owe them a professional but not necessarily exhaustive explanation. Keep your reasons concise and positive, focusing on your future aspirations rather than any negative aspects of your current role. Frame your departure as a move towards new opportunities, personal growth, or a different career direction. Avoid airing grievances, criticizing the company, or bad-mouthing colleagues. For example, instead of saying, "I'm leaving because I'm overworked and underpaid," you could say, "I'm pursuing an opportunity that aligns more closely with my long-term goals in new field or industry." Or, "I'm excited to explore a role that offers a different type of challenge and growth." By controlling the narrative, you leave a professional impression and protect your professional relationships. The resignation conversation is not the time for emotional confessions. It's a strategic communication designed to formalize your departure while preserving your professional relationships. Deliver your message clearly, respectfully, and with unwavering confidence in the path you've chosen.
Chapter 14. The Notice Period Power Play. You've delivered the news, the initial shock has passed, and your resignation is official. Now begins the notice period, typically 2 weeks, but sometimes longer depending on your role or negotiation. This isn't a time to mentally check out. It's a critical power play period. How you conduct yourself during these final days will cement your reputation, ensure a smooth handover, and leave an indelible positive impression that can benefit you for years to come. This is your chance to demonstrate professionalism under pressure and depart as a class act. The most crucial task during your notice period is creating a comprehensive transition document. This isn't just a casual list of tasks, it's a detailed, user-friendly guide for your replacement. Include everything: current project statuses, key contacts, internal and external, recurring meeting schedules, critical deadlines, login information for essential tools, where permissible, and any unique processes or institutional knowledge only you possess. The more thorough and organized this document, the smoother the handover will be, and the more positively your departure will be viewed. This demonstrates your commitment to the team and the company, even as you leave. Consider a project manager, Chloe, who was leaving her role. Instead of just verbally outlining tasks, she created a shared document with links to all relevant files, a calendar with upcoming milestones, and short video tutorials demonstrating how to navigate a complex internal system. Her replacement was able to hit the ground running, and Chloe received glowing feedback for her professionalism, which she could then leverage as a reference. This level of detail shows respect for your colleagues and the organization. Equally important is the class act of saying goodbye to colleagues.
Depending on the size of your organization, this might involve individual conversations, a team announcement, or a broader email. Keep your goodbyes positive and gracious. Thank people for their collaboration, mentorship, or friendship. Avoid any negativity, complaints, or gossip about the company or your reasons for leaving. Your last interactions are the ones people will remember most vividly, so ensure they reflect the professional you aspire to be. A farewell email to key contacts can be a great way to maintain connections. Keep it brief and heartfelt, thanking your colleagues and providing your personal contact information, such as your LinkedIn profile or personal email, for those you wish to stay in touch with. This is not the time to solicit business or discuss grievances. It's a moment for appreciation and bridge building. Finally, and perhaps most challenging, is resisting the urge to check out early. It's natural to feel a dip in motivation once you've given notice. However, succumbing to this urge can quickly undo all your hard work in planning a graceful exit. Continue to perform your duties diligently until your very last hour. Show up on time, complete your tasks, participate in meetings, and assist with the transition as promised. This final display of commitment reinforces your professionalism and ensures you leave with your reputation fully intact. Remember, your notice period is not just about fulfilling a contractual obligation, it's a strategic opportunity to manage your professional legacy. By creating a comprehensive handover, bidding a classy farewell to colleagues, and maintaining your work ethic, you transform your departure into a final, powerful statement about your character and professionalism, ensuring that even as you move on, you leave a trail of positive impressions.
Chapter 15. Decompressing. The first week of freedom.
You've done it. You navigated the exit roadmap, negotiated your departure, and executed a flawless resignation. Now you stand at the precipice of freedom. While exhilarating, this initial period immediately following your last day can also be fraught with psychological challenges. The sudden absence of your old routine, the loss of a defined identity, and the sheer quiet can create a panic vacuum if not managed proactively. The first week of freedom is not just about celebration, it's about conscious decompression and strategic recalibration. The necessity of a structured detox period cannot be overstated. For weeks, months, or even years, your life has revolved around a specific schedule, a set of responsibilities, and the demands of your employer. Abruptly removing that structure can feel disorienting. Instead of immediately diving into your next venture or frantically searching for a new role, schedule a brief, intentional detox period. This could be a few days or even a full week where you deliberately disconnect. Avoid checking work emails, even if you still have access. Resist the urge to network and simply allow yourself to breathe. This period is crucial for mental and emotional processing, allowing your brain to unwind from years of corporate conditioning. Consider what happened to Chris, who, after leaving a demanding tech job, felt a profound sense of emptiness on his first Monday morning. He had planned to immediately start his freelance consulting, but the sudden lack of external structure left him feeling adrift and anxious. He realized he needed a detox. For 3 days, he focused solely on personal well-being, long walks, reading for pleasure, and spending time with family. By the end of it, he felt mentally reset and ready to approach his new endeavors with clarity and renewed energy. One of the most common and persistent habits you'll fight during this detox is the phantom email-checking impulse. Your brain has been conditioned to constantly monitor incoming messages, respond to urgent requests, and stay connected. Even without an active work email, you might find yourself instinctively reaching for your phone or logging into personal accounts, expecting the familiar deluge. This impulse is a deeply ingrained habit, and breaking it requires conscious effort. Turn off notifications, put your phone away, and replace that impulse with a new, positive habit, perhaps reading, meditating, or simply enjoying the quiet. To prevent the panic vacuum from setting in, it's essential to set a new routine for your new life immediately. While the detox period offers flexibility, once it's over, establish a new, intentional rhythm. This doesn't mean replicating your old 9-to-5, but rather creating a structure that supports your new goals. If you're launching a business, define your working hours. If you're job searching, set specific times for applications, networking, and skill development.
Include non-work activities, exercise, hobbies, social engagements. A routine provides a sense of purpose and control, preventing you from drifting aimlessly or succumbing to the anxiety of unstructured time. The first week of freedom is a powerful opportunity for self-recalibration. Embrace the quiet, address the psychological shifts, and intentionally build a new routine that supports your autonomous future. This foundational period will set the stage for sustained success in your new, self-directed life.
Chapter 16. Never Going Back.
Congratulations! You've successfully navigated the treacherous waters of the job security myth and landed on the shores of professional autonomy. But the journey isn't over. It has merely transformed. This final chapter is about cementing your independence, building a resilient, sustainable future, and ensuring you never have to rely on a single employer for your survival ever again. This isn't just about avoiding a past mistake. It's about embracing a powerful, proactive stance for life. The cornerstone of perpetual autonomy is building a portfolio career of multiple income streams. Just as an astute investor diversifies across different assets, you, as the CEO of Me Inc., will diversify your professional income. This might involve a combination of part-time consulting gigs, freelance projects, passive income from intellectual property, like an online course or an ebook, strategic investments, or even a fractional role with multiple clients instead of one full-time employer. The goal is to avoid the vulnerability that comes with a single point of failure, that sole paycheck that once held you captive. Consider David, who after leaving his corporate role didn't immediately jump into another 9-to-5. Instead, he cultivated a portfolio career. He offered his project management skills as a consultant to 2 small businesses, developed an online course teaching data analytics, and invested in a small rental property. No single stream provided all his income, but together they created a robust financial ecosystem. If one client contract ended, he still had multiple other income sources, maintaining his stability and peace of mind. This multifaceted approach is the ultimate defense against the job security myth. Central to maintaining a portfolio career is the mindset of continuous upskilling. The market is constantly evolving, and the skills that are valuable today may be obsolete tomorrow. As an autonomous professional, you are solely responsible for your own professional development. This means perpetually investing in yourself, learning new technologies, acquiring new certifications, reading industry publications, and staying attuned to emerging trends. Think of yourself as a perpetual student, always refining your craft and expanding your toolkit. This continuous learning ensures your skills remain relevant and in demand, keeping you marketable to a diverse range of clients or opportunities. For example, Emily, a content creator, understood that her skills needed constant refreshing. She regularly took online courses on new social media algorithms, video editing software, and SEO best practices. This proactive approach allowed her to adapt her services to changing client needs, ensuring a steady stream of work and keeping her at the forefront of her field. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, is the commitment to maintaining your Forget You fund forever. Your freedom number wasn't a one-time savings goal, it's a foundational principle. This fund, your emergency savings, is your ultimate leverage. It allows you to walk away from any client, any project, or any situation that no longer serves your best interests without financial fear. It grants you the power to say no to bad opportunities and yes to genuinely aligned ones. Rebuild it, protect it, and replenish it, ensuring it always covers at least 6 months of your essential living expenses. This money is not just money. It is concentrated power and true freedom. By embracing a portfolio career, committing to continuous upskilling, and perpetually maintaining your Forget You fund, you transform yourself from a disposable employee into an unshakable, autonomous professional. You are no longer reliant on the whims of others for your livelihood. You are the architect of your own destiny.
forever free from the illusion of job security and firmly in control of your terms.
Conclusion: the ultimate freedom. You have journeyed through the intricate landscape of the modern workforce, from the historical quaintness of the company man to the stark realities of at-will employment. You've dissected the subtle psychology of corporate loyalty, learned to spot the red flags of impending change, and strategically mapped out an exit. More profoundly, you have undergone a fundamental transformation, shifting your identity from a dependent employee to the empowered CEO of Me. Inc. This journey has revealed that the job security myth is precisely that, a myth, a dangerous illusion that traps countless individuals in a state of perpetual vulnerability. The modern economy demands not loyalty to a single entity, but fierce self-reliance, continuous adaptability, and a strategic, diversified approach to your career. The illusion of safety, often provided by a single paycheck, kept you trapped. But the reality of your own inherent value, your transferable skills, and your capacity for self-direction will set you free. We've covered the key pillars of this Me. Inc. philosophy. First, understanding the historical and legal frameworks that make you disposable, thereby removing the emotional sting from corporate decisions. Second, cultivating a mindset where your employer is a client and you are a service provider, not a subordinate. Third, the critical financial step of calculating and funding your freedom number, your ultimate financial runway. Fourth, auditing your true transferable assets, your universal skills, not just company-specific processes. Fifth, strategically building a network that extends far beyond your current cubicle, ensuring you're connected to the broader market. Sixth, leveraging side hustles as low-risk testing grounds for your independent ventures. Seventh, executing a meticulously planned 6-month exit roadmap, from skill building to logistics. Eighth, navigating the legal complexities of intellectual property and non-competes. Ninth, mastering the art of negotiating your departure and scripting that pivotal resignation conversation. 10th, strategically managing your notice period to leave a lasting positive impression. 11th, consciously decompressing and setting a new routine in your first week of freedom. And finally, building a robust, diversified portfolio career, committing to continuous upskilling and forever maintaining your Forget You fund to ensure you never have to rely on a single employer for your survival again. Each chapter has been a step towards your liberation, building layer upon layer of knowledge, strategy, and confidence. You now possess the tools and the mindset to navigate any professional landscape, to pivot when necessary, and to thrive independently. You are no longer a passenger in your career. You are the pilot, charting your own course with skill and foresight. The ultimate freedom isn't the absence of work, it's the freedom to choose your work, to choose your clients, and to choose your terms. It's the profound peace of mind that comes from knowing your security resides not in a company's promise, but in your own capabilities and your strategically built financial and professional infrastructure. Don't just listen to this audiobook as a theoretical exercise. Let it be the catalyst for your transformation. The illusion of safety kept you trapped, but the reality of your own value will set you free. Don't just absorb these principles, act on them. Open your calendar right now and mark a date 6 months from today. Let that day be your Independence Day, the target for when you will have executed your roadmap and truly be operating on your own terms. The journey may demand courage, but the destination, true professional autonomy and unshakable self-reliance, is the most empowering gift you can give yourself.